Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you exactly how to build a system that takes Excel data and with the click of a button, it'll actually just send all that data and have AI create emails. Now for the use case that I'm using for this video, it's simply just a real estate company grabbing leads and just following up via email, book an appointment with them, or get them to schedule any kind of meeting. If you don't already know who I am, my name is Elliot Gherardi. I am the CEO and founder of ManyFlow AI, which is my own AI automation agency where my team and I, we specialize in embedding AI for businesses. So everything's gonna be in my description if you're interested in that, but without further ado, let's jump into this video. So right here, you're actually looking at a table with just a bunch of random leads that I just used for this video. Kind of just some random names, some emails, some phone numbers, the date that the lead was, captured maybe through a lead form or something like that. And then some notes here for, the user saying what they're actually interested in. So now, how do we actually take out this data without having, for example, copy and pasting this email, writing out the entire email for them? Well, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is get the developer tab here on Excel. Now to do this, we're actually gonna go to the file tab. We're gonna go to options, and you're gonna wanna go to the customize ribbon section and actually check the developer tab on right here and click OK. So now that you actually have the developer tab open, we're gonna wanna go to Visual Basic. This is gonna pop open this sort of screen here. Now, if you're like me and have multiple projects, don't worry about that. You're gonna wanna find the sheet that you're currently on. We are going to go to Modules, Module 1, and you're gonna wanna paste in this code here. Now, don't worry, you don't actually have to write anything, just copy and paste this code. If you want access to this code, just DM me on Instagram and I'll send it right away. So once we actually have the code set up, what we're gonna wanna do is just close these windows, and we want to actually have the code run. This is actually called a macro. So where are we going to actually initialize this macro? Well, we're gonna go over to shapes. So it's going to be in insert. We're gonna go to shapes right here. I'm picking a rectangle and I'm just going to draw it out over here. Now you can customize this just as much as you want. I'm just gonna type in send data over here. I'm gonna do some quick reformatting here, just make it a little bigger, and then maybe we can change this color to a green to make it maybe bold, and then we'll change the color of the outline here. Let's just do a brighter color here. Let's do orange. Oh, that's actually the shape outline. Let's do the shape fill, and then we're gonna do a nice little bluish over here, just like that. So this is actually our button now. So let's assign it the macro that we just created. So the code is actually going to be the name of the macro. So let's click on assign macro here and then send range to webhook. As you can see, if I go back to the actual code itself, it's going to be this name right here, send range to webhook. So once we have successfully assigned the macro here, we're gonna move over to the next step. So the next step is actually going to make.com. Just make an account. It's free as long as you don't use, I think it's 10,000 operations. So if you never use make.com, don't worry about it. You're not gonna have to worry about payment. So click on create a scenario, and then here we have our new scenario. Let's just name it YouTube Excel send emails, something like that. Now we're gonna put a webhook. Let's just type in webhook here. I'm going to do create a triggers when webhook receives data right here. Here we're going to add and create one. I already have my own, so I don't have to do this. I'm going to do Excel test over here. I'm going to copy this to the clipboard, click OK. Now we're going to go back to the Excel code right here and actually change this webhook URL to the one that I just gave it. Here we go, and we're just gonna exit out. So let's just kind of quickly run a test here. We're gonna click run once. As this is running, we're gonna go back to Excel. We're gonna click send data. And then here we can see it says select the range to send. So let's actually just select these top three here. It's actually gonna grab the entirety of the row, so you don't have to worry about selecting everything. Let's just say we wanna follow up on these three leads here. I'm gonna click OK. Data sent successfully. Now we're gonna click OK. We're gonna go back to make.com. And as you can see here, we have our data into 3 different collections. So the next step here is we actually want to use an iterator because this is going to turn the array into multiple bundles instead of collections. This is going to be important later when we want to actually map out different variables, you could say. So we're going to add here, we're going to go to iterator, and then our array is going to be data, which is what we just grabbed from that webhook. Let's click OK. Let's give it one more run. Let's just click run anyway here. Send data, let's select our range, okay, okay. Go back to make. And as you can see now, our data has been bundled 3 different times. Now the next step here is we're actually going to want to use a OpenAI module. We're going to create a completion. And then we're going to type in this exact prompt here. So here's the configuration of the OpenAI module. I picked 3.5 Turbo. The first messages that we're going to do, we're going to select the system role, and we're going to give it a small prompt here saying you are an expert at writing emails, you are professional and concise. The next message here is going to be the user as a role, and then we're giving it this task. This is probably the most important part of this prompt, is actually this part right here. Your task is to write an email by analyzing notes. So this was from our iterator, not from our webhook. So, and write a follow-up email. Your email should be thanking the user name. The name is from here. And then for their interest in company ABC, you must end the email by asking the user their availability to book a call according to, and then we put notes one more time. And we want to make sure it doesn't give us a subject or a signature. And then I asked it to format it in a nice HTML. The last message here is going to be giving it some context. You are reviewing leads for a real estate company named Company ABC. Max tokens, I set it to 300 because for this example, the emails won't be actually that long. Now we click OK. Next step is to add a Gmail module. We want to actually create a draft. So once you actually have your account set up, we're going to choose a folder here. For this example, I'm not actually going to be sending out emails, I'm just going to be creating drafts. So we want to go to our draft inbox here. Our recipient is going to be the email from our iterator over here. Our subject, let's just give it a hard-coded subject just for the example. Let's say, hey, or let's say, thanks for reaching out. We'll just give that our subject. And our content here is going to be the result of the OpenAI module, because the OpenAI module is actually what is creating the email itself. And then let's click OK. And then the last module we're going to be using here is an actual Excel module, just to remind the user whenever you actually send out data, it's going to say sent in the next column, so you know that you don't have to do it twice or duplicate it. It'll automatically just tell you, hey, you've already actually sent these leads a follow-up email. So now let's actually set up the Excel module. We're going to look for update a worksheet row here. And then let's just make a connection as well through Microsoft Excel. Let's select from the list our workbook here. For me, it's actually in my desktop, so I'm going to select desktop and then click the plus again and find that last file right here. Our worksheet is called leads. And then here we have types of values being entered. That's going to be values because we're not actually writing formulas, it's just plain text. Our row ID, we're actually not going to pick one of these hard-coded options. We're going to click on map and select the row ID here that we got from our initial code. And then the cell that we actually want to change here, or the row, would be status. And that we're going to change it to sent. And then we're going to put a little exclamation point here just to let the person know that it has sent. So let's put this in full effect now. Let's actually just press run once. Let's go back to Excel. Let's say, you know what, let's do all of these leads here. So let's click on send data. Let's select our range right here. We want to send out follow-up emails to all these people. Click on OK. Data sent successfully. OK. Now we go back to make.com to see what's going on. And as you can see right now, it's currently working. we did send, I believe, around like 15 or so it might take a few minutes. So the make scenario actually just finished, and I was right, there were 15 of them. So let's go back to Excel to double check. As you can see here, we actually don't have anything in the status. This is because we actually have to save it first, so we Control S. And as you can see, we have 2, and sometimes it just takes a while for them to actually show up. So you might want to give it a sec, but while that's loading, let's go to our email. And as you can see, we have every single one of our drafts here. We have 15 as I just selected, and we can just open up a draft here. And it says right to the email that we picked, it says, thanks for reaching out. That was the subject we picked. And then off of that notes section from the Excel, it actually completely just wrote its own email to the user. So let's just kind of read the email. Thank you for expressing your interest in company ABC and our properties. We have received your request, etc., etc. And then could you please let us know your availability so we can schedule a call. Cool. So now let's just go back and check on the Excel. And as you can see, yeah, we have every single one sent. So now we know that we've actually followed up all on those leads. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. If this helped you out, like and subscribe. I'm gonna be posting a lot more of these videos. Like I said in my previous video, I'm still kind of getting the ropes of YouTube. This is essentially my second video I've ever uploaded, but I'm having fun doing so. If you're a business owner and would like a system like this, maybe more complicated, maybe completely different, just schedule a call below at my agency and we will talk and see what we can actually do for your business and set up a system just like this. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.